Hi, when we were in Tagbilaran, I'm a foreigner living in the Philippines. When we were in Tagbilaran a few days ago, I picked up a book. This is a book called Job Scam, and it's about what happens in America, the Great American Job Scam. Whenever I see any of the expat sites here, or most of them anyway, it seems like at least half, if not a majority, of the expats that are living here tend to think of way back home, be it America, be it Germany, be it the UK, be it Australia. They tend to think of back home as being just perfect. And my contention is this: it's not that the Philippines is perfect. It's just that what we're thinking of back home probably is no longer there. Now this particular book, I don't know this person. His name is Greg Leroy, and actually I bought this for something like $1 because it was on, and when I scanned through it, the title appealed to me. But what this man has done is he's looked at some of the big companies, like, what am I looking at here? Walmart, Dell, Fidelity Investments, Boeing, let me see the others, got to get my glasses on for this, Cabela's have in common. They're all part of a $50 billion a year scam. So we're just talking about America. And what these companies do is they go in, Walmart, they can go into a new area, a new state, and they can negotiate incredible tax relief, tax exemptions, by promising to be there. And then once they get those exemptions, once they've won that little war that they have with the people that run that particular state, that particular town, that particular county, they can then do what they like. They don't have to honour the agreement that they had. For instance, they can go in and play states and cities against each other to win hefty taxpayer subsidies that can exceed $100,000 per job. So they're going in and they're promising to bring jobs into a given area. Then once they've got that, they can actually then close that facility and move away, and it makes sense for them to do that. Now, a little while ago I was talking to a girl that's working in the hardware store that I go to the most often. My friend Edgar runs Ambercon hardware store, and we go down there and we get all our stuff, and he delivers it for us. Very good. Talking to the girl, and she's saying to me, when are you going back to America? And I said, I have no intention of going back to America. And she just couldn't understand it. That's because Filipinos seem to be programmed into believing that leaving their country is the dream. Even my wife Beth said that her greatest ambition when I met her was to actually work abroad, probably to go to Kuwait, Abu Dhabi, somewhere like that. Isn't that true, honey?
I didn't say that. I'm just that's before, because I have some friends also
who did that and perpetuated that myth. Well, I sat down with that particular girl and I said, how much do you earn? We worked out, she told me how much she earned, and then on paper we worked out all of her expenses. And at the end of that, working out her expenses, we subtracted that from her wages per month, and actually she was able to save about 1,000 pesos a month. Now that's doing a job in a hardware store, nothing highly qualified. She just went in there, learned how to do all of the stock and all of that, not terribly complicated, and she was able to do that. And then I said, if you were to go to America, let's say that you went and you got a job at McDonald's. Now, I'm not up on what the minimum wage is, but we took it that it was about, I think, $8.50, something like that, $8, $8.50. Well, part of the exercise, we added up what she would earn if she did a normal 40-hour work week. And then we worked out what it would cost her for all of her expenses, for an apartment, for a cell phone, for a car, for insurance, all of the normal things that Americans and British people and anybody in the Western world is paying. We worked out what that was. When she added that up on her calculator, wherever you go, people who are working in any kind of situation where they're adding up, they use a calculator. So she punched it all out on the calculator. Working hard at a McDonald's in America, doing a normal working week, she was astonished to see that in actual fact she was in the negative. In other words, she would not be, even with a job, she would not be able to afford to live in America. Now, ask me again why I'm not going back to America. I couldn't afford to live there. Does that make me a loser? Well, actually, I'm looking around at me and looking around at what I have, even though it's not actually paradise, it's not perfect. I still bathe outside. I have lots of things that are difficult, like mud in the rainy season. I can live. I can live here, a relatively simple life, and I can do okay. Now, what we're looking at in America is how people, when I left a couple of years after the great fall of the real estate market, and I'd lost my house. What was the point in trying to pay for a house with a mortgage that was far in excess of anything that the house would ever realize in terms of a sale in 4 or 5 years? So, like lots of people, I had to walk away from the house. I lost it. People were losing their jobs at a great speed, and they were finding themselves in great difficulties. Right about that time, popular saying was that almost any family was about 2 paychecks away from losing their home. So it wasn't so good. And now I look at this book, and actually it explains a lot, that when a company like, say, Walmart goes in, they get these huge tax benefits, they get all kinds of perks that they negotiate with their sharp lawyers, and they take over an area. A lot of the time when they take over an area, all the mom and pop businesses go out. They can't compete, because Walmart can be ruthless in its negotiations of what they pay for things. I remember that I was able to watch in once on satellite programs from China, and whenever I watched any of the news items that came on that Chinese program, if they showed anything that was down at the port, it would have container after container after container. And on the side of all of those containers, hundreds of them, was written what? Guess what? Costco. So everything that people are buying so cheap in Costco is coming from outside. And then I wonder where the jobs went. So when people talked people talk to me about how it is here compared to this wonderful picture that they still have of where they came from, then I don't see what they left as being perfect. I just don't see it. And when Westerners come out here, foreigners come out here, and they criticize Filipinos for not being able to, well, for not getting a job. I actually deleted a post from my channel that said that, well, Filipinos don't do this because they're just lazy, they just sit around on their... Yeah. I don't think that that's true. And another person who posted said something that really rang true for me. They said, let any of these critics be dumped in a foreign country with enough money to support themselves for 3 days. Let's see how they do in a week. Not very good. And my wife once again is miming that I should stop talking.
Yay. Because it's almost out.
It's almost out. We're almost flat back.
Yeah.
Can't that be said about a lot of things? Well,
No, I set up 15 minutes for every video, you know, so that the syncing of your voice, because there are
yes.
some complaining that you're not in the sync.
that I'm out of sync.
Yeah.
Even before I arrived here and did videos, people often said I'm out of sync.
Yeah, so please like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Please
that
continue
disembodied-
support.
That disembodied voice is my wife speaking behind the camera, and we both thank you very much for looking in. Please like, subscribe, and share. We really would like to bring our little glimpses of ordinary life in the Philippines to people who might feel nostalgic about seeing what they see.
Yeah.
Okay, so bye for now.
Bye-bye and God bless.